I think this episode finally, if there was any episode that needs to let people know one thing and one thing only, and that is in regards to letting people know just how much of an impact, not just Sun and Moon, but the entirety of Alola means to Ash as a character. From this point on, no matter how far Ash goes, no matter how many generations he will always keep marching onwards towards to, Alola will always be attached to him compared to any other generation that has ever existed prior to this series. No matter what, Sun and Moon and Alola will always be there by his side because he has left such an impact to that series and to that home of his that he can never let it go, no matter how much he like, no matter what, not. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
This as a Journeys episode and as a Sun and Moon episode. This is the perfect episode for both angles. Normally, I would give a criticism to Journeys because like of the plot doesn't make sense and all that. But like as a Journeys episode that has established these plot points in the past before, and then into this episode representing Alola. Dude, I didn't even think we'd see Guzma, your boy. I didn't think we'd see a How here. I didn't think we'd see any of these characters. Yet they are here.
They're here. They're all here. They're all here to support him because that's what a family does. Oh, my heart. I'm crying, bro. Oh.
This is... Hold on a second. Before we move on into the next thing, Bob, where we talk about the episode now with the chat and all that, let me just raise your volume up real quick. There we go. There is one thing we have to watch. I didn't watch this. I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. This is apparently a Masters 8 trailer now after the events that came out from this. So we're going to watch this real quick. And then we're going to go and celebrate from Squeed for subscribing real quick. Thank you, Squeed, for subscribing. Much appreciated, buddy.
Yay.
Actually, did you subscribe or was that a gifty? I can't tell. No, you subscribed. Thank you so much, Squeed. I appreciate it. You guys are all amazing. Every single one of you for tuning into tonight's reaction. This is an episode I can't wait to talk a little bit more about after we get into the reaction for tonight. So let's go and react to this bit real quick, Emmy, before we go and move on into our main discussion for tonight in the other server.
Yes.
All right. So let me go and stop streaming this first off and share the screen here with y'all. We're gonna just watch this really quickly, and then we will then hop into the other call, and then Emmy, I'll leave it to you from there. But we'll talk more in that segment. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at what this trailer has to offer. Ready? Everybody in the chat ready? This is apparently the Masters 8. We're all rooting for this boy. Ah, there's Iris!
Oh, there's, yep.
All right. Hey, my boy being repped right there with Pikachu.
Everything. He's wearing everything.
Alon. Oh, the voices are gonna be here, aren't they? Oh, my boy, Lance.
Oh, Steven. Mr.
Down here. Cynthia. The chapstick? What?
Chapstick.
And then, of course, Leon. I can't believe we're about to straight. Wait, whoa.
Wait, what? Wait,
wait,
go back.
Was that Oh shit, was that Diantha versus Ash? Oh shoot, wait, was that Diantha versus Ash? Hold on, let me go back real quick.
Go back, yeah.
No, that are they fighting each other?
Is
that Lance's? Wait, was Tracy? Oh shit, you're right.
Oh, Tracy's there. What the hell?
Oh shit, he passed by so quick. Oh wait, there's Charizard. Dude. There's freaking Charizard and there's Infernape. Crocodile's there too.
Crocodile. Oh my god.
Oh, there's Big Knight. I can see a little bit of Big Knight there in the back too.
Oh my gosh. Wait, are they at home or are they like in the stadium though? Probably in the.
No, I know that window anywhere. That window is Oak's home right there. That is straight up Oak's home.
Okay.
I would not expect Tracy to be here.
Tracy? I thought thought you were taking out the garbage for 25 years. Where were you, man? Oh my god.
Yo, why is he so serious? Why is Delia so sad along with Pig Knight? You see Pig Knight. Pig Knight looks a little sad over there too. I guess everybody's like they're seeing Satoshi's fight and
Yeah.
probably he's losing or something. But my
Oh, this
god.
guy.
But look,
Yeah.
dude, the three aces right here.
Yeah.
Infernape, Charizard,
Charizard.
Crocodile. Best wishes getting the rep that it deserves with the face of the region
Yeah.
with Crocodile and his killer ass shades. Yes, I love it. This could be Paul's episode. This could also be Paul's episode, but honestly, I think this might be more the I hope this is the Pokemon World Championships though. I hope it is
Yeah.
because that means they're watching him. And that's
Yeah.
something we lacked in this series. That we didn't see anybody from his past actually watching it, you know, like how they did in past generations. So if
Yes.
they do that, I will love it. Where's Sceptile? Who? No, I'm just kidding. Sceptile is probably way too far to the right that the camera cut off him at this point, but he'll probably appear in the full version of this shot
Oh my
here.
gosh. You know what I thought of just now? Okay, remember when okay, this was like XY days, right? You know when like was it Serena or it was someone who was like everyone was watching. I think it was Serena. Everyone was watching her showcase, like her final showcase, and then you have like the zoom ins on everyone just watching from their own respective area. If
Yeah.
they do that with this for
Nah,
Ash, it's game over. I'll lose it. I'm like, oh my god.
I hope I see Greninja just hanging out in a
Yeah,
tree, watching
just
a TV
watching.
from some
Yeah.
dude's house, and just
Oh
being
my
like
god.
this,
Yes.
just nodding its head.
Booty-chan turns into a TV. It's like, yo, break time, let's go.
Exactly. All right, Emmy, let's go and hop into the other thing. We're gonna go and
Yes.
react to, or not react, review the episode, hear everybody's impression of it. To everybody who joined us tonight for just a reaction, once again, one and all, you all are amazing. Thank you guys for being here tonight. You guys are incredible. If you want to stick around a little longer to go and hear the impressions of the community and what they thought of the episode as a whole, you can stick around to go and watch that. But you guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you for joining me on this episode. This wasn't just any episode. This was something I am so emotionally attached to because this is now considered, with these past episodes, my favorite series of Pokemon, bro. This is it. This felt like an epilogue. This felt like an epilogue for just like you could have just straight up said, "Yo, watch episode all of Sun and Moon and then watch this episode and be like a time skip happened and everything would be cool and you would not miss a beat, bro." I loved everything about this episode. 10 out of 10, both as a Journeys episode and as a episode of Sun and Moon. But we're going to go into the stage. We're going to go hear everybody's inputs. Stick around. We're going to be reviewing this episode and we're going to be hearing more from what the community has to say about this week's episode of PM 2019. Let's get to it. Alrighty, buddy. I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna go and enjoy my delicious chicken noodle soup that I had to the side because I didn't eat because I was reacting to the episode. So I'm
Of
gonna go
course.
and chow down on this good food, and I'm gonna have a fun time hearing everybody have their inputs on what they thought of the episode. So, I mean, first off, I need to hear your take on this now that we've had a little few more minutes to process it. What did you think about this week's episode?
It was wonderful. It was beautiful. I'm in tears. I'm just like I was literally in tears for a good minute. I was just like, oh, this is my heartstrings. Like the battle itself was like okay, but like at the end of the day, it's about the emotion of this episode and what that brought, and that brought, bro, I'm crying. Like oh my gosh, like the entirety of that stadium just cheering for Ash, being like champion, champion, you're our champion, and then them just being like, you know what, like don't forget that you're representing Alola. I couldn't get over
Yo,
that.
I swear to God, they heard that input that we said on
Yeah,
Twitter, and they're saying, let's make sure that is a line that they put into this episode. Because notice that that was one of the weirdest lines that they brought up, but I'm so happy somebody did bring that up.
I
I'm so
know.
happy.
I'm so happy too. Like that. Honestly, that is my. It was exactly. It was so. It was super heartwarming. Oh, hold on.
I just loved it so much. It was great because, like, when you hear everybody saying champion, 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 it almost felt like they were saying it from the past when Ash finally became the winner, and we never
Yes.
got to hear those lines at that moment. But then you see the text, and props to some stuffs for doing this. I appreciate some stuffs for doing this, where they have the subtitle text slowly fade in and then fully becoming clear once you transition back to Ash in the stadium and you hear the roar of the
Yes.
crowd. Everything about this episode. You know what it is about it that really emotionally hits me?
Well,
It's we waited 20 years for this moment to
yes.
happen. Like Ash has done so many great things. Let it be clear. Ash has done so many amazing things. But have I waited so long for a crowd to simply do one thing, and that is to cheer our boy
I
100%?
agree.
And I think they
100%.
they nailed it with this episode. They absolutely captured one very important thing about Alola. Everybody is important to this story.
Yes.
And it makes me so happy to see that it left such an impact to the region, to Ash's character, because no matter what anyone says from this point onward, Alola is a series that will never be detached from Ash no matter what. It will always stay with him 100% of the time. And I cannot be more happier with that knowledge in my head, man. This was
100%.
a wonderful, wonderful tribute to this series, to these
I agree.
characters. I love it. I love it.
No, I can just echo that exactly 100%. It was just so amazing to watch it. And especially because like I don't know, like you see a lot of people like putting like Ash down constantly. So like to see that everyone is just so like happy to just like root for him and be like you're going to do it. You're going to become like the world champion, not just champion of Alola anymore. But the fact that you're represented by so many people who are behind you is so heartwarming and so heartfelt to just see, and especially like you said, like seeing his family in Alola just cheering him on and who have always been by his side. It's just amazing. It's so nice to see that, and I think everyone in life wants a support group like that. So
Yeah.
it's so amazing to see. I'm so like I'm about to cry again. But it's just
You know what almost got me though? You know, the interaction that Lay and Ash had in that one scene. When Ash was like roaring up in the air, and what do you see Lay do? Lay looks to his
yeah,
brother, and then he lifts his arms up too. It's like, rah, like with Satoshi. Like, that's brothers right there.
I
That is so
know.
touching.
And honestly, I'm very glad too the way they ended the battle because it's like they didn't need to show who won. They really didn't. The way that they transitioned to the sunset and just like Ash on the beach and then Kukui comes and they have like that little moment and then Tapu Koko out of all friggin' things comes and does the cha-cha slide. You know, my heart, my absolute heart was so happy to see that just because, like, I don't know, it felt like the ending of Sun and Moon. Because, like, you know what? Remember at the end where, like, Ash was in the plane, and
Yeah.
then you just see, like, the sun, and then all of a sudden you see all of his friends come, like, just, like, up in the air, and they're all, like, waving goodbye to him and everything. It felt like that. That's what it felt like. And I felt like I agree with you 100% where it's like, this is the end for Sun and Moon. Like, it felt like that again, which I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my heartstrings, my
Let,
heart. Oh,
aside from cameos and them watching the tournament unfold in the PWC, I
yeah,
do not want another Sun and Moon episode after this.
that's it. Yeah,
I could
agreed.
see them maybe like cameo, like I said, or maybe make a nod to them and they're watching it and all that. That's perfectly fine. But like as a pure Sun and Moon episode, this is it. This is it. Yeah, I don't need any more of this. This is too perfect for me of a way to close
Yeah,
this. I am Matsui, who worked on this in the previous episode. I feel that the writer wrote it this way to make sure that Sun and Moon never gets touched again after this point, because there are certain moments when you can really dabble on a series from the past and use it effectively to move this narrative forward. And I think this story here with this episode beautifully tells that. If I
agreed.
have to criticize one thing, this is a nitpick on mine, but the way this episode was handled, this felt like a final episode in general. Like just in
Yeah,
general. I'm not talking about like Ash's like episode in Sun and Moon. I'm not talking about like in Journeys. Like this is just straight up the last
like,
episode.
yeah,
And it would have I think it would have been beautiful. And I wish, and I mentioned this in the reaction, I wish they had the licensing to use
To use
type
type wild.
wild.
I know.
Imagine, like, because the way the camera shot, like, pan to white, and you see Satoshi there looking at the attack, I could have just
Yeah.
imagined it just like pans to white, be like, "Hello, my dream," and then
Yes.
it would just transition to the sunset. Like that would have been phenomenal. I want to do an edit of that just to
Yeah,
see
I was gonna
how
say
effectively how that would look, but
that would look amazing.
still, regardless, even without that, this episode narratively was told beautifully. So I'm happy.
Agreed.
I'm just so happy with this episode. I couldn't be prouder of Aya Matsui, to the folks that worked on this episode and the previous one. They did an amazing job,
Yeah.
and I hope that that now, knowing this in mind, especially with whatever the next episode is going to be about with Go and all that, uh, they don't forget. They don't forget how
Yes.
much of an emotional impact this region has to Ash. I want now to the PWC to now confidently say the Alola champion Satoshi. They've said
Yes.
it many times. They teased it many times. We made an
Now they need to
episode
say it.
built around it. Now you guys have narratively wrote it into the story. Let's see it be effectively used in PWC. No matter if he wins or if he loses, I just want that recognition to finally reach outside of Alola and show the world that Satoshi has accomplished something really grand that deserves to be recognized by the whole world. And therefore,
Yes.
I want Alola to be represented. So yeah. But
100%.
nah, this episode's a solid 10, both as a Journeys and as a Sun and Moon episode. I can't be prouder. I cannot. I'm just happy. I'm blown away. I'm just like, my brain is melting still.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, but
Same.
yeah, so I said what I had to say. I'm going to share more of my thoughts in the podcast on Monday. But of course, Emmy, any final thoughts?
Um, no, honestly, like I honestly, I would just be reiterating the same things you were saying because 100% agreed. It's just what a beautiful episode. These past two episodes, just amazing.
Oh man, yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
amazed. I'm amazed. I really am. Thank you,
yeah.
Journeys. Thank you
Thank
sincerely. I
you.
may criticize you a lot of the times, but when you have episodes like these, they deliver. They always deliver. And I'm proud to say that this episode is up there as one of the episodes to deliver as a whole.
Yes,
Sun and Moon, I can now proudly say, is complete, ladies and gentlemen. The
agreed.
story of Sun and Moon and the story of Alola has finally came to a close with this episode. All of it.
Yes,
And
all
now
of it.
now I can't wait to see how the PWC manages to one up what Alola has accomplished, man. Not gonna lie, House Cameo made me laugh though. Yeah, why was he pouty?
Yeah, I know.
Well, whatever. That's just my take though. I'll probably share more inputs on this in the podcast on Monday night. But
Of course.
for now, Emmy, anything else to add, or shall we go and let the community come in and take their inputs into account for this one?
Yeah, let's do community.
All right, everybody, welcome to the community side of things. We are going to be reacting to what the community has to say about this week's episode of PM 2019. And we're going to see what they have to say. Of course, I'm going to go and mute myself now. I'm going to go enjoy my delicious soup because I think it's going to get too cold and I don't want it to get too cold. So I'm going to let you take care of this segment, Emmy, unless you're still having issues with the computer and whatnot, and if you need my help.
No, I'm good. Yeah,
All
I'm good. I'm
right,
good.
great. So I will be leaving for now. You guys have fun reacting to their inputs. I'll still be listening, but yeah, thanks for hearing my side of the input. Thank you for hearing Emmy's side. Let's see what the community has to say now. So, Emmy, take it away, buddy.
All right. Okay, so welcome to Community Night, as KG has said. So our lovely Discord members will be giving their inputs on the episode, because of course we have a watch party here. So if you haven't done so already, join the Discord. It's a fun place. But without further ado, let's start. So I'm just gonna pick someone, and y'all are gonna talk. So Cosmic, go ahead.
Oh boy, I get to start. Okay.
Yes.
So I really like this episode. One thing I would say about Sun and Moon episodes is that they always have the most heart out of every one. A lot of them just drag or just don't have any impact in your feelings towards the episodes at all. But like we got back-to-back episodes that were just filled with like wholesomeness and love and passion, and it was just a really good, like, this entire episode was basically just a homage to all of the Sun and Moon series, which I think was really great. And I love that they had like the people who made like the biggest impact to Ash be his opponents in the battle royale with Gladion and Kukui and um I'm already drawing a blank on his name, but whatever, the other guy. And I don't know, just drawing a blank. You know what? It's 11 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, whatever. But I just think that they did a really good job with incorporating that. And I love how they like didn't really show who won at the end. They kind of left it open-ended. Even though Ash won, but it just and I would say that probably my favorite moment was actually the Tapu Koko part at the very end. I thought that was just like that was it. That was like, you know what? That like had like end of series. There we go. We're done. Who cares about the rest of this entire saga? We don't really care about Masters 8. We just want more Tapu Koko saying good luck, Ash, with whatever future, and that would just lead to whatever Scarlet and Violet will be. But like, we know that's not what we're getting it. If I had to give it a rating, I would say that this one's probably like a 9.5 out of 10. I would say like this is probably up there as probably one of their best episodes. I did enjoy this one more than the Lily one.
Oh, okay, interesting. Honestly, I think I would have to say the same thing too, just because of the Ash like segments that we get for this. Just because like Ash has been like such an iconic character, of course. So to see him have like that moment of like everyone cheering for him is just so nice, so nice.
Pikachu does something.
I know Pikachu does something. Oh my gosh, my boy, he's back. But yes, any other thoughts, Cosmic, or that's it?
Nope. We got a lot of
All right.
people, so move on.
Of course, of course. All right, thank you, Cosmic. Appreciation. All right, next person I'm pointing to, Felipe. Go ahead.
So this is weird because now I can no longer request to speak no more.
Yeah, I
Now
know.
I could just, if I wanted to, I could just, while KG and you are talking, I could literally just go up to the stage
Pop
and
in.
pop in and go like, "What up?" But I won't do that, of course.
Of course.
But I just
yeah.
wanted to say, what was it that this is like a great like episode, like really great. Like I literally gonna give this like a 12 out of 10. Like I can't like there's no criticism or anything. I just like everything. I would say the stuff you guys did. I don't think you guys like talk very much about. Oh no, someone's getting Twitch ads. Sad.
Uh-oh.
Ads. They're getting ads.
Oh no. Should we stall for like 20 seconds?
20 seconds. Also, weird thing is this is a great like first day of becoming watch party manager. I did not know that I could just pop in.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's another thing. We have
I
new
can
watch
also
party
approve of
managers.
people. I can also approve of people. Ooh,
I
so
know.
much power.
We can drag people in.
I think we are back now. I believe
Are we?
so. I think so.
Yeah,
Are we?
okay.
I don't know. I'm subbed though. Like, I don't know.
I'm sub too.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
back
sub
in front of a
too.
live studio audience.
Yeah.
All right,
Back
there we
to
go.
live
Go ahead,
studios.
Felipe.
All right, so yeah, it's very okay. A few moments that you did guys. I don't think you guys mentioned about Lily's Eevee, the two Eevee interactions. I like that whole bit too because I like how they established like there's. I think they hinted at it, but I think it was a really great way to mention that Eevee could just stay an Eevee, just like Ash's Pikachu. I thought that was pretty wholesome. I thought the battle, even though that wasn't like the highlight, I thought the battle animation was pretty good, like before the Z moves and stuff. I thought that was pretty nice. And yeah, I like how everyone got together, all the cameos, Guzma, who else showed up? Pretty much everyone showed up. Who didn't show up? That's the better question.
Kabashi.
Let's see. One more thing. I have it in my mind. I just can't think of it. Oh yeah, the whole bit where Ash and I'm losing people here. Just go to someone else. I'll think of it.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10? Alright, okay. Alright, Felipe, before we move on to the next group, I'll ask you again if you had want to finish your thoughts. Alright, next up, Groot, go ahead.
10 out of 10. That's all I can really say.
Wow.
I felt things. It was a good episode. like I literally like have no complaints. Like before, I was kind of like joking about like the Masters say, yeah, it's gonna be cool and whatnot. This episode made me hyped, and I think that's what it was supposed to do. Like if you show this to someone who hasn't watched an episode of Johnny's, this will get them hyped up for the Masters 8. And I think this is what we're trying to do. Hopefully, they can bring the momentum in to the actual Masters 8, like the whole vibe, the weight behind Ash. And if they do that, if they bring that emotional attachment in, like we've seen in the trailer, showing sneak peeks at different characters, I think we're going to be in for a really good tournament.
Yes.
And also the animation was really good. Like I know there was some like reused animation.
Yeah, definitely the Z moves, but I thought the battle they had a couple good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and also like Ash being smart again.
Oh yeah,
in his
battle
battles.
dodge. That Z move dodge though.
Oh yes,
That was cool.
dodge. That was
Like-
that was an Ash strategy.
I would say though,
Lee,
I actually figured out what my last thought was. My last thought, the most important thought, was Ash's development, because I've been waiting since Kanto, literally my entire life, for this entire moment where Ash gets praise, and not like none of this fake ass praise from freaking being the Orange Islands or Battle Frontier or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean actual praise from being champion. My first movie is literally the Pokemon, the first movie. That's literally the first movie I watched as a baby because my mom was a Pokemon fan. So
Aw.
literally, I was
Whoa.
waiting for this. I was waiting for the praise. It was so beautiful.
Oh, you were. Oh, that's so cute.
Your mom was a
21
Pokemon fan?
years.
I didn't know that.
Tiny Felipe. So cute.
Couldn't even speak, couldn't even hear.
Yeah.
But I already.
The
liked
Pokemon was always there. That's what matters.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
yeah.
But yeah, continue, Groot. Go on.
Yeah, that was my.
So yeah, I just hope like they bring that. Like we started seeing it in past episodes, especially of Gengar. I just hope they're not able to continue that into the Masters 8, because throughout all of Pokemon, that has been Ash's #1 strength, his creativity and his resourcefulness.
Yes.
You can't predict what he's gonna do, and I hope that they bring that in.
Perfect.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Hyprov. Go on.
All right. So I love this episode. This episode was great. Honestly, it was nice to see everybody once more before we head into Masters 8.
Yes.
Let me regather my thoughts.
It's overwhelming.
I know it's a lot.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it was a lot for me to take in.
like I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was
Like, I'm
literally
coming up
crying
with
at one
stuff
point.
right now on the spot. Like, if this was Kanto or Hoenn Ash, he'll be cocky, but like, this is like, you know, the Alola Ash. This is like Journey's Ash. He's like
Yeah.
way more mature now. He's like,
Like,
he gets blushy.
Who knew
He's
Journeys
not
could make
cocky
us?
Ash.
Who knew
So I'm
Journeys
kinda
could make
glad-
us like speechless? You know?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad this is not like Hoenn Ash becoming champion or Kanto Ash, because he'll be a smart ass.
Yes, so Go was necessarily sidetracked.
Oh, I forgot Go was there.
It's not a screw him. Lana and Chloe, they had their moment, and it was a short one, but at
I think it
least
was
we
needed.
got to know. At least we got to know the secret path that Eevee could take, being
AKA Gigantamax, aka marketing.
that Eevee could stay in Eevee, like how Ash's Pikachu doesn't prefer to evolve. It was nice to see everybody at the Battle Royale. Team Skull, even though they left on a high note, and Hao, who looked salty because his grandfather robbed him of a battle.
Damn.
Pikachu was ganged up. And the most important part of this episode is the fact that Ash is being reminded by everybody in the stadium, not just his friends, not just his mother, not just his Pokemon, everybody.
Just Alola mother.
Yeah, Alola mother as well. Everybody in the audience is reminding him that he is a champion of the Alola region. And as we're approaching the Masters 8, I think there's something at stake here. Ash's goal is to beat Leon, but I think it's also important that he's representing the entire Alola region.
Yeah.
You mean the one that the freaking tournament is doesn't like for some reason? They won't even mention it. I'm sad.
They recognize the Z moves in the rules, but not the region.
I will literally scream if one of the Alola people flies out of Alola, punch the commentator or whatever, punch Leon. I don't care who they punch, and says this is Ash from the effing Alola region. Okay.
And now, look. Ever since, from the beginning, Ash went from being booed in the Indigo League to being praised as the champion of the Alola region.
He was booed in the Indigo League? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was booing after he lost to Richie because that stupid Charizard of his. But in any case, because Ash is being praised right now as a champion of the Alola region. And this might give him some confidence in the Masters 8. There was some wholesomeness in this episode, and I am all for it. If I just have to say one thing, this is probably the final episode in the Alola region. I don't think we should be getting any more Alola-focused episodes. However, Ash's friends I believe Ash's friends will be watching the Masters 8 tournament.
Neat.
Since he's made it this far. Now, I think I should point out something. I think Lily and her family were able to contact everybody in the Alola region to prepare them for the homecoming.
Pokemon Homecoming?
Maybe
that's theaters?
Yeah, and maybe that's how Chloe, maybe that's how they got into contact with Lana. Because prior to getting back to the Alola region, never mind.
We don't question it. We just know that everyone's here.
Yeah, exactly. But
the moment Lily wrote the letter to Lana, we can infer that they are in contact with each other. I mean, they saw Ash's matches on the internet, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, that's true.
They told Chloe about it too. Right? Okay. Anyways, everybody, including Tapu Koko, is depending on Ash right now, and yeah, this was a really great episode. I didn't think that I didn't think this episode would top the last one, but I'm also giving this a 10 out of 10.
Yay! Yeah, we're starting off so strong with these ratings.
2 for 2 back to back.
Oh, wait. You know what I did forgot to mention? I don't care what Tyrone says. I'm base. This is 12 out of 10. I don't give a F what Tyrone says. If he gives us a 2 out of 10, I'm following Tyrone.
No,
I won't.
But thank you guys for your input, and last but not least for this group, we have Kuro. So go ahead, Kuro.
Well, this episode is peak fiction. It's 10 out of 10 at the bare minimum.
Yeah,
I had to bring the meme back. For both Journeys and for Sun and Moon, we have 15 soundtracks. Only the first one in the recap, it's a Journey soundtrack. The rest is Sun and Moon all throughout.
Yes, Hayashi.
Yeah,
no Hayashi.
Yeah, all throughout is just Sun and Moon soundtracks. Only the recap with the what's the name of the song? Let me double check. New friends are formed, right? And speaking of new friends, I'm going to tackle the Koharu part of the story because it's like a C plot. Lana did what Dawn should have done in just 1 minute. You can stay the same and stay wholesome, right? It's simple as that, Simplicity is key, right? So that alone is great, right? And Lana, of all people, right? That's just the icing on the cake. Kiawe, he wasn't at the party for the homecoming, but he met Ash when it matters the most for them. The battlefield, right? That alone is just wholesome as well. God damn. Hobbs, Faba, Rotom Dex just smacking Faba. There are some characters that aren't here, like for example, we don't have Ilima, but we have Lana in his stand. We don't have Naganadel, but Nihilego battling. We can kind of have that. We don't have the little lady, but it is what it is. She's a food stand, so she needs to do her job, right? This goddamn episode, when Ash is in the household and Go and Kohara are meeting his family, and Kohara has the little interaction with Lei, which kind of makes sense because she has a little brother, so reminiscing sakes. Gladion drinking the orange juice like Paul, because we have Gladion, we're gonna have Gary, we're gonna have Paul, then we're gonna have Alan. It's like back-to-back rivalry, right? And then Go in the temple will play hopscotch to get Regieleki or something around those lines. And we're going to see Blastoise and Cinderace with the tortoise and the hare, so there's that too. Now, when it comes to the battle, they do a little, homage to the final opening of Alola, right? Where Pikachu battles Incineroar, but that never happened in Manila Stadium. It happens here, right? And even, in the Battle Royale itself, right? Ash, even the corners, right? Kukui is on Gyarados corner because in the games he reached Lance. Kiawe is on the Charizard corner because Charizard and the Battle Royale Dome is in Akala, right? The island where he will soon be a Kahuna. Gladion, it's in the Tyranitar, the Tyranitar route, because Tyranitar was the Pokemon that Lily had to battle to get the ICMZ, and it's rock like Nihilego. And then we have Ash on Exorus. Not only because Iris was the one that made him go to the Ultra Class, and the Ultra Class used the Z move against Voltner, so everyone watch from Voltner onward that thing being televised, right? I kind of want to imagine how Rotom Dex feels about Rotom drones, but that's besides the point.
Yes.
Ash on the Exorus line. Exorus, a Pokemon that has both Rivalry and Mold Breaker ability. Rivalry gets stronger if they battle the same gender. Ash was only battling guys there. Mold Breaker prevents abilities. That's what Ash is in character. Like, he invents shit on the fly. Resourcefulness, creativity. The problem with Journey's battles is that they are extremely telegraphed and obvious. Pikachu today didn't felt obvious. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was surprised. And that's what matters. Pikachu dodging everything, I almost felt like he was going to learn extreme speed. That's how in awe I was. And they did the battle being inconclusive and open-ended. I thought that the Alola League was going to end like that, to not, devalue Tapu Koko. But, they did it here, right? And Tapu Koko, to end it all off, right? Tapu Koko, a Pokemon of conflict and battle, right? Basically the god of war of Alola. He's the one now praying for Ash. Ash is being praised by a deity, not the other way around. If we count the Alola episodes in every season, 37, 76, and 112, we have 149 episodes of Alola, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, it's the Dragonite number, which is kind of funny because Dragonite hugged Kukui, Lucario hugged Ash. Ash was, hurt because of the Steel Spike. That was funny. The thought bubbles were funny. Even Rowlet was, sleeping in the Journey's bag. So, yeah, Rowlet, expand your territory. But if we count the Sophocles episode and also the Lily episode, it's 151 episodes of Sun and Moon. 151, right? Mew, where it all started. This is just amazing. Because we went from Ash being booed to now being praised. He won the Orange League in an archipelago. Now he's representing an archipelago. Satoshi, she, foreign Japanese. Pikachu is the fourth starter. He's representing the 4 islands. With Kanto, even though he was born and raised there, it's kind of difficult to, represent Kanto when it's a peninsula in tandem with Johto, so let Lance take care of that, okay? Lance is an adult, he can represent 2 regions. Ash is still a kid. Heart and soul. And to become a Pokemon Master, right? learn, develop, train. He got something that he never had or had the feeling of needing to have, but he has now. A father. I don't care if Ash wins, loses, or ties. In the end of the day, titles don't matter. He got a dad in
Yeah,
Kukui.
exactly.
He got praised by a god in this region. This is the power of Alola. Everyone had screen time today. Even his Journeys team cheering on him.
Yeah, I agree. But
This is so
Kuro,
awesome.
what would you give this episode?
It's a 10 out of 10. What else can
Yeah,
I say?
I know. I know you said
Oh my
feedback.
god. This is amazing.
But thank you for
But
your
yeah,
thoughts. I appreciate it.
thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
so yeah, no problem, no problem. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next group of people. So we have Elo, we have Ricksu, we have Nessa. Oh wait, did I click right? Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, that'll be our next group. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hola.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna point to people. Nessa, go.
Oh, okay. I was like ready, but anyways, I guess I could say I guess for anyone who's a Sun and Moon fan, you guys got what you wanted. That's all I can say out there. You guys got what you guys wanted. So if you're like a top Sun and Moon fan, congratulations. You guys got everything you wanted. You finally got the resolution with Lily and finding her dad, and now this is kind of like that. I guess the big finale where they bring Moan back, and then the big party celebrating and Ash being acknowledged as a champion. So it was so that's so congratulations. That's all I can say. But overall I had a good time. I can't deny that. I had a good time with this episode. The biggest highlights for me for this episode would be when Chloe and Lana were talking about Eevee's path. I actually thought it was I actually really liked that a lot. And also Lana kind of pointed out there maybe I was like, maybe you don't have to evolve your Eevee if that's the choice that Chloe wants. So I kind of I have a feeling that's pretty much she might take that route because with the Gigantamax Eevee going around. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Eevee decided not to evolve it also. And then also my heart, and then the biggest thing for me, my heart when Ash was getting called champion. I have no words. It's just it kind of it's kind of like something I daydreamed a lot for the longest time. Probably all the way back from his canceled Jodel days. I would imagine oh, I wonder if Ash was champion or getting into champion and everyone's cheering for him. It's so for me it feels kind of surreal not seeing that in live for people cheering for Ash as a champion, which was freaking awesome. So yeah, it was actually it was a fun episode. I was kind of a little bummed we didn't see who won, but I think it was probably kind of obvious. So they probably we don't need to show it. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's my thoughts though. I didn't have much really to say.
That's okay. That's okay. But thank you, Nessa. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. All right. Rexu, go ahead. Give your thoughts.
All right. Peak fiction.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right. This episode, I really enjoyed it. I didn't watch that much of Sun and Moon, but the Sun and Moon episodes that I've seen, I really enjoyed them. And the Sun and Moon stuff and Journeys, those in my opinion, the best Journeys content. And I don't think anyone brought this up, but the food that they were eating looked so good. The moment I saw that cake, I'm like, yo. Also, that's gonna tie in with my crackhead rating. So anyway, it was cool. It was cool seeing Ash's Alola team hanging out with his Journey squad. It's hey, nice to see Mel Metal with his flexing self instead of Roar. We saw the god himself, Rowlet, in a backpack. Like, also, like, it was cool hearing Lana and Chloe talk about Eevee and how, like, Lana mentioned that, like, Eevee is, like, another path for Eevee because, like, basically, kind of like Pikachu wants to stay a Pikachu, and, like, that's part of his character. And, like, Eevee can just stay an Eevee, and which, you know, that makes sense for, like, the Let's Go games because in those games, like, the Eevee Pikachu you get as a starter, they don't evolve. And like during the whole fight, like before the fight, I didn't realize that Guzma cameoed. I didn't realize that. Like I saw how and he looked pouty. I'm like, why you sad? What? Like I don't know. I guess he wanted to fight Ash there, but couldn't. And like the fight itself was really entertaining. Like I really like the flashback to their fight in Sun and Moon with Ash doing the Kamehameha wave against Tapu Koko, who shows up later on. What else? Thunderbolts being used to dodge the Z move. That is really peak Ash Ketchum right there. And I like that they didn't show that, you know, like who won between that like Z move exchange because, you know, one, it was obvious, two, like, I don't know. I guess in a way you could leave it ambiguous, but like, we didn't really need to like see that window. Like it was cool just like see it at class, and then like we could like Ash at the beach with Kokui, and then like, you know, Tapu Koko shows up, and that was really sweet. And like this episode kind of like makes me want to like watch Sun and Moon because funny enough, like I've been wanting us to do like a watch party of like best wishes.
Oh my god!
So,
I mean,
like,
we still have to finish Sinnoh Saturday first, and then we can talk about next series.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, like this episode has me more excited for the PWC same with the trailers because I'm gonna be honest, the PWC and Project Mew, those are things like I just weren't interested in. Like I was interested in like, you know, seeing Ash and Go going into different regions, seeing old friends, seeing how like the Galar Pokemon are gonna be like represented in the anime. But like I don't know, just like the PWC, like I should be excited because it's Ash fighting like, you know, like champions and old friends. But anyway, my two ratings. My normal rating is gonna be a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
My crackhead rating is gonna be the Pokepod having a celebration festival with Felipe, Joker, and John doing Fortnite dances. All right, I'm done.
Oh my god. Thank you. I always enjoy your crackhead ratings. Oh my god. All right, and last but not least for this group, we have Evo. So go ahead, Evo.
Yeah, okay. So everybody pretty much just took everything I was gonna say. Even Kuro with everybody booing to like cheering on Ash. I love how far that's come. I also love the nods of continuation between like Ash writing letters to Alola. Like that's how they knew Go, and that's how they now knew who Kaharu was. So I thought that was really nice. Overall, I love this episode. As a Sun and Moon fan, this was perfect to me. Like this is the perfect ending. Well, I just hope we see people cheering him on when it comes to the Masters 8. But there is only a couple issues I have, but I'm still going to give this a 10 out of 10 because that's just my personal ranking. But I do see some issues in front of me because first of all, it took us 110 episodes to finally get to this moment. Like, I really feel this should have happened sooner in Journeys because this is a Journeys problem, not a Sun and Moon problem. But I really wish we saw this, especially in the Iris episode, especially in episodes prior. Like, no one mentioned he was champion. Even with the Volkner fight, I feel like somebody needed to say something, and I'm glad it happened, but at the last minute, it doesn't feel like there's no excuse for that. And then I was talking with Joker, and she gave it a 10 out of 10, but the issue is she said that she couldn't enjoy this episode as much because she didn't watch it didn't watch a lot of Sun and Moon. So that made me realize, oh crap, like there's a lot of people who are watching Journeys who haven't watched a lot of Sun and Moon. So it makes you really think that for this episode is still great, but it's like if you're coming into this episode without watching anything, it's not going to be as enjoyable as you'd like. So it really makes you think, like as what Tyrone said on Monday with the Pokepod with the Lily episode. So it really kind of impacts the score, not my score, but like as an in general realization. So I'm not giving it 2 scores. This is a really perfect episode. I have my perfect conclusion with everybody, the cast, and everything in general. I just can't wait for what's to come next. So overall 10 out of 10. This is like is top 5, but I'm not going to give it top 3 just because of that realization moment. But overall, this was perfect. Like the second 10 out of 10 in a week. Oh my goodness! I hope the
Yeah,
Reggie episode next week can do the thing.
yeah, this is weird. We keep getting really like high ratings, and then sometimes it's like really, really low ratings.
Oh
So,
man, this year's a roller coaster.
I should do a graph to see like just our reactions in terms of like 0 to 10. Be like, all right, so everyone said it was like 2 to 5 this week, and then everyone said it was a 10 this week. It's like either super low or it's
Yeah,
super high. It's really
but you
funny
also have to
actually.
calculate because like some people are going to say, "Oh, this episode was a 10," like what I thought with the Clement, but then everyone's like, "Oh no, this is a big fat 0." So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. So
"Oh
you take
man."
that into account too. You take in like the just like the average rate for like community data, I guess. But it's cool. But thank you, thank you, Ebo, and
Yeah.
thank you to everyone for this group as well for speaking. So now I will do the final group for this discussion night for our Discord peeps. All right. So we have Shadow, we have Skyryan, we have Treman, and we have Julian as well.
Alola, Alola, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey,
Hello.
all right. Okay, so I'm gonna point to someone. You're gonna talk. Okay, Treman,
Alola.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, Lola, what's good? What's good?
What's good?
Yo, this episode, in the words of Kuro, peak fiction.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Like, I'm actually I've been getting images together and stuff to actually make a review, which I haven't done in like for years. It feels like it because I just lost the feel for journeys. But this, I don't know. This episode really like it just hit different, man. Like
Aw.
man, I don't know how to describe it. I'm a big Sun and Moon fan, so it's just to see how they were able to come back and do so good with this, and not even just with Sun and Moon. Serena and Greninja showing the strength. Like they've been doing better lately. Because earlier I just been like, with the returns, but this episode altogether just beautiful. Definitely a 10 out of 10.
Agreed. 100%. I just love the scores that we're getting. It's so wholesome. It's so positive. I love it.
I know,
Giving it
and then
a
what really took it away from me was the totem theme. That's my theme right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Oh, that was
brief.
so cool.
It was brief, but I love that song.
I know. Beautiful. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts or?
No, that's pretty good, but just pretty brief. I just love hearing everybody else's thoughts because good old Lola.
Of course. But thank you. I appreciate it.
No
All
problem.
right. Yeah. All right. Next, Shadow. Go.
Where can I begin? In 25 years has it been since Ash started on his journey as the newbie,
Yes.
and struggled all his way. Just see, everyone saw it at the beginning. He was just like a below average trainer, and now a loser. And while I have not seen a lot of Sun and Moon as much as other people have, I have been keeping track of Ash's journey, especially on Twitter. I posted a long post about Ash's progression as a character for Ash Ketchum Appreciation Day and the same day. And I have to admit, this episode I was excited for because not because of just seeing Alola and the Alola champion, but to see really where Ash stands now in the face of the whole world, or at least in the Lola. I remember I made the prediction back when this episode was once thought to be the Battle Royal betrayal. Everyone was wondering why is Ash's face look hunkered down like he's depressed, or is the Battle Royal betrayal means he was betrayed in Alola or something like that. And I remember making this prediction that perhaps Ash doesn't realize he was becoming a champion and into a whole new world. Suffice to say, he was so narrow-mindedly focused on going to the next challenge. He's not realizing where he is at the stands, and that this would eventually culminate into him being attacked by all three participants of the Battle Royal. They all target him first. There's not actually doing random, attacks to each other, just him particularly, And now, of course, this all was kind of debunked when it turns out the Battle Royal betrayal was actually meant for Go, and Go's adventure. But I'm quite surprised how much of it came true in this episode. Like, yeah, everyone did target Ash because he's the champion. Everyone wants to target him because he's the biggest, threat to victory. The biggest opponent. And I just love the little moments like the attack between Gladion and Kai, I believe that's how you say it. Hello?
Yes, Gladion.
Gladion.
Or Gladion.
Gladion and Clyde. It's
yeah, doesn't matter.
When they attack, you can hear them saying, I'll be the one who defeat Ash, And it was like, they beat each other up before, and rather than teaming up to defeat Ash together, they just want to be the person. And it reminds me of how Rayhan and Ash were trying to compete to see who would meet Leon. And it's like, it's one of those little moments where you realize, where you see how Ash is becoming Leon in his own way. That he's seen as this unbeatable champion. Everyone wants to get him. Everyone wants to defeat him, even if they have to fight each other just to be the person to do so, And it's like that you can see that little reflection when Ash realizes this is how people see me, and it's like you realize, and it's like this is one of those it's a very wholesome moment. It's very subtle, but it's very wholesome to see Ash actually realizing he's going through what Leon's going through. Though it's not really about, victory is too easy like I predicted. It was more of the weight of being the champion. Like everyone was cheering for him. Champion. It's like, throw that 3 years ago or something. Something no one will believe this. I don't think people would believe it now. And it was like, for anyone who really followed Ash from the beginning or kept tabs on him, it was like, this is perhaps one of the closest you will ever get to. This is perhaps the closest you'll ever get to him becoming the Pokemon Master. The whole cheering and whatnot. It's like, I can't say any more to say for everything else. It's just me just rambling about the progression of Ash's journey. And I will say, to end on this, is I believe he should win the Pokemon World Tournament, defeat Leon, not because it would be even grander than becoming the Alola champion, but because I really want to know where he goes when he finally reaches the top and there's no one above him. That's a challenge onto itself.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all I can say for now.
Yeah.
And,
did you give it a rating? I don't remember if you did.
I have not given ratings. It's usually me rambling about this a lot, but it's like, what it was all the high praises I give it. It's an easy 10 out of 10, or a master ball, you might call it.
Of course.
It's like, what else is there to say for this?
Yeah.
Especially if you're an Ash fan and you're keeping track of things.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. There's a lot of just victories, like small victories for Ash here, especially.
Yeah.
Like what everyone has been saying, especially just how far Ash has come in terms of his journey. So of course, if you're an Ash fan, it's gonna hit you in the field. So
yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your input, Shadao. Appreciation. All right, so we have 3 more speakers left for the night. We have Talonmaster. So go ahead.
Well, for starters, I mean, to the newer mods, now you guys know what I was referring to with the request to speak and whatnot.
Yeah.
I had to say that first and foremost. Aside from this episode, I mean, I'll say it straight up. I didn't watch it with you guys. I had to watch it later because by the time I got to it, you guys were, I think, halfway through the episode. But I watched it back and it really is amazing, that episode. I think I agree with everyone that's spoken so far. At least if you've seen Sun and Moon and you followed Sun and Moon, which, if I'm going to be fully honest, that's where I found a lot of people in the Anti-Poke community, like Raph and Zach and JPR. It was definitely I feel like if there was ever an episode to get that fitting conclusion to that scenario, it was these last 2 episodes. It was phenomenally done. The soundtracks were great. I loved hearing the Battle Royale theme in the match itself. And I feel like I don't want to go this far on it, but I heard you guys talking about the Eevee thing, and I get the Eevee path making it 9, but what if that doesn't mean the Eevee path? What if they just confirmed what we thought was going to happen in Gen 8, that we're going to get a new evolution in about 6 months?
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go that route, to be honest. I feel like that whole talk with what's her name? Damn it. Surin? That's the Japanese name. I forgot her name. What's her name? I feel
Lana?
Lana. Okay, yeah, Lana. Thank you. Appreciate
You're welcome.
My brain was like Emmy. But yeah, so I think that whole conversation with Lana was just, I don't know, I feel like they're not going to evolve Eevee at this point. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I just don't think so. I think they're gonna go the maybe the Sword and Shield route, where they just Gigantamax Eevee and call it a day, and then we get big Eevee and we get the big floof and we call it a day. But I don't know, like you could be onto something. Maybe they could do that, but I don't know. Personally, I think it's too late. But then again, you never know, because Journey's better late than never kind of thing. So,
Well, I mean, well, see, when I go with that Eevee evolution, like with it being a 9th one, well, we all go like, oh, we need to see a dragon evolution. Oh, we need to see a steel evolution. Oh, we need a ghost evolution. Oh, wait, what about a fighting evolution? What if it's gonna be a normal evolution? What if Eevee just becomes a bigger evolution and it's a normal type Eevee?
I don't know. I mean, it could
Seems
happen.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, again, I'm grasping at straws right there. I mean, I did enjoy seeing Meteor Beam in the anime. It was nice seeing Meteor Beam done by Lily the Shiny Nihilego, and also seeing Lana, Sophocles, and Mallow be like, Lily, and they're like, and Lily's like, yeah, that's basically my sister now.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nice little thing. I mean, I really wonder what's going to happen moving forward with that. Like, and also, I mean, it was nice seeing that, you know, everybody's saying, like, you're representing Alola, which kind of is true. There's, I think, a champion of every region in the Masters 8, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Lance does Kano and Johto. Steven is Hoenn. Cynthia is Sinnoh.
Iris is Unova.
Iris is Unova. Diantha and Alon are Kalos. Ash is Alola, and Leon is Gout.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very plausible. And then also, I mean, I just gotta say, just because he's really good in Pokemon Masters, I know nobody really plays that game, but
I do.
But Guzma is really good in Masters when you get him EX. Like, he is really destruction in human form.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see him there.
But yeah. What would you rate the episode, Colin?
I'd say 9 out of 10, because I really feel like last week's episode was a lot better than this one. Just because of the way, like, seeing Lusamine, like, all that, like, that hit home as a fan. I mean, I know I got a good family at home and want to, you know, love the parents and whatnot, but to see that reunion, like, that was wholesome, and that was something that I really wish the games would have done.
Yeah. Good to see it, like, more, like, it hits home a little bit more when you see it, like, in animated form rather than game form, I feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. And no, I that's totally valid as well, so that's completely fine. But thank you. Thank you for your input. All right, and our last 2 speakers for the night, so let Julian go first. Go ahead. Give your thoughts on the episode.
Alright. Hello, everybody. So, first off, even though they did even though they did reuse animations, some of the reused ones, I like how with Kukui's and Cineroar's Z move, how like they really amped it up since the last time. Like, they swapped out the blue background with the dark red. They had now, instead of just the energy, you had these just explosions of flames erupting as it activated. That was just really cool, in my opinion. On some side notes, though, so if they are just gonna go down the road of saying Chloe's Eevee doesn't evolve because it can Gigantamax, I was going over the possibilities of how that would be a thing since she doesn't have a Dynamax band, and this made it think. And well, this episode. I was thinking, Rose is still on the run. This is still Gen 8. Mom calling that on the day if I'm betting Ash makes it all the way up to Leon, and then on the day of them going to battle, Rose does his whole billboard thing. She's just like, aha, I'm back, and I stole Eternatus, and then causes the whole region to abrupt. And then just in the chaos, we get, like, with Ash's Pikachu Gigantamaxing, where Chloe's Eevee Gigantamaxes. But that's just an idea for saying that could happen with explaining that way. But back to the episode itself. Just, I don't really know what else I can say covering, because, a lot of people have already covered all the bases here.
Of course.
But one thing I was kind of disappointed, Kukui did not give Ash the head pat at the end. That was kind of sad.
Well, I mean, he kind of did it at the beach, I felt.
That's true. But yeah. But on more important notes. Dang
What
it.
would you give? That's okay. No, that's okay. Completely fine. You're good.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm not used to this.
That's okay.
But yeah, rating wise, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Although I do have to agree with the other people that if you don't come into this having watched us, you probably won't get as much enjoyment. So probably from an outside view, it'd be more like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
But one of those things that maybe the thing of Ash, like throughout most of this, no one really being like, oh yeah, no, Alola isn't that great. It could possibly be sort of like a meta joke of where it's like in the beginning of Sun and Moon Running, we came right off the heels of X and Y. Everybody's just like, what happened? The animation looks so weird. Alola's, and it's like the fan base was very split on a bunch of stuff. So that could be something.
No, you're completely right, though. I mean, like, Sun and Moon had a rough start to it, especially with, like, what you just said, like, the art style change and just the animation. Well, yeah, the art style change mainly. That's what people are very mad about. So it did have, like, a heavy, like, rough start to it, and even, like, the pacing-wise, it took a while to find its pacing, because that was, like, the first series that was starting to do a new direction with the slice of life type direction. So, of course, like, it had a rough start, but if you look at how the way it ended, and also the storytelling aspects that came with the series, I think that's where it really shines, and I think that's what Sun and Moon did best. But I agree with you in terms of like it's interesting to see that journey, like how journey, how it started from like being like it's the same thing as like what we were saying about Ash, like in the beginning, right? Like if you would look at the Indigo lead, like people were booing him, right? Same thing with Sun and Moon, people were booing it, and then you look at now and you see this ending of this series that brought so much like joy, I guess, in terms of storytelling. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's a good comparison. But yeah, thank you for your thoughts. I appreciate it. And last but not least, for this group we have Skyryan. So go ahead with your thoughts.
Alola, everyone.
Alola.
Alola. Well, this episode is one of the greatest satisfying episodes ever. Ash and Go and Ooh, and Lily returning to Alola is such really. It's first time Chloe has been there, and it's really and new friendships being formed. Lily and Chloe, hence the track playing in the beginning of the episode, and then that awesome music track the Moan Welcome Back Festival. Right, the festival Icky Town is a fitting track to fit. It took place in Icky Town. Total coincidence, am I right? We have Hala and Samsonok and Ook and Ulu and Abe as well.
Will you ever take me to Philadelphia tomorrow instead?
I mean, it's a shame we didn't see Harper nor Sarah. Harper and Sarah, or Lana's parents,
Life is
or
good.
Sophocles' parents. Wait,
How will
Brianna.
go to
Oh, great. Anyways,
That's more like it.
okay.
Will you take me to Philadelphia first?
Probably not.
What do we do?
Okay, then Brianna's still talking. Well, I'm Brianna. Anyways, now what was I talking about? Oh, right. Yes, that's right.
Mhm.
They were here. Kudos to that was Gladion. You have the Alola, iconic Alola theme playing,
Yeah.
as well as the Battle Royal Dome theme, and then we're going to the Battle Royal, and then the ring participants with the Battle of Submit.
I know the music was actually really good for this episode. But what would you rate this episode?
Anyways, where was I? What was I speaking of? Oh yeah, I mean the Pikachu and Mimikyu theme, Pikachu versus Mimikyu theme, really fits. Plus the boss battle, the Ultra Beast boss battle, and the Sun Moon Cutting Top Coco fights Pheromosa and or Buzzwole. The battle between Solgaleo and the Lytrio battle theme, boss battle, and the Totem boss theme is here as well.
Yeah.
It's power of the Alola. And it's very weird that they reuse Sun Moon footage. Mostly because Journeys and Sun Moon have the same art style. That's my theory, that is. Anyways, we have the trainer thing. Ash 10 million volt Thunderbolt and Incineroar's maximum Moonsault here. We don't know who wins. My theory is that Ash wins. And then we see Top Coco once more. And we could have gotten the others like Nebby and Top Lele, Bulu, and Feeny. Anyways, this episode's magnificent. And well, Shinji Miyazaki soundtracks. One day we'll get Miyazaki's tracks one day.
And what would you rate this episode?
I'm so hyped for the Masters 8 and the showdown, and as well as Hop and the gang and all the other Galar.
Yes.
This
what would you rate this?
It's a 10 million out of 10.
All right. Thank you.
Ryan Cornelius out.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for everyone's. And that actually brings us to the end of Community Night. So thank you everyone for giving your inputs on the episode. Greatly appreciate it. Just to reiterate again, join the Discord if you haven't done so already. We do a lot of stuff, like KG said. We do Manga Mondays. We do Community Nights on Wednesday. We have the watch parties going on Fridays for the Journeys episodes, of course. We do Sinnoh Saturdays and even more watch parties too. So it's a fun time. Lots of fun people. Awesome times. So yeah, join. Yes, come. KG, come back.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I live? Okay, holy shit.
You're live. Yeah, you're live.
sorry. I just passed out from all this Alola goodness, man. Oh, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
It's so good.
Good Lord. Ah, man, I can't wait to, like, once this stream comes to an end, I'm gonna go and, I want to make that edit with the type wild one, just because I'm curious how that legitimately would sound, if it was to wrap up like that.
Do it.
Yeah,
please.
so I'll see how that plays out for a second. But Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in for tonight. Thank you to the community here on Twitch. Thank you to the community on Discord. You all have been incredible. Love and respect and care for every single one of you guys. As always, ladies and gents, you guys already know the deal. Be safe. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday at the Pokepod World Podcast, where we'll go more into details about this episode, hear the perspectives of the community, as well as hear the inputs from our friends within the Pokepod World Podcast and see what they have to say regarding this week's episode, as well as our usual bullshit hour shenanigans. So if you guys love those kind of stuff, like what we went with tonight and even yesterday's stream and whatnot, please go ahead, leave us a follow so you can be notified when we do go live. And yeah, I'm excited to see how things will play out for tomorrow and for Sunday. So until then, everybody, be safe, take care, wash your goddamn hands, as TSS would say, and let's go and send some love to somebody. I'm not sure who's live right now. Does anybody know who's live at this current moment?
TSS.
TSS is live. I could have sworn Tyrone was live as well, or maybe he stopped already. I'm not sure.
He was for a bit, but it says he's not anymore, so I'm gonna just assume TSS is only live.
Yeah, I see TSS. He seems to be live right now playing Tales of Vesperia. So let's go send him some love his way. So everybody, go say hi to TSS. Tell him, scream and shout Alola to him in the chat. And we'll speak with y'all lovelies later in whatever video we make. Take care, everyone. And as always, make sure to have yourselves an awesome day. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, Yo here. Thanks for watching the Pokemon Post Discussion episode. If you want to see more episodes, then subscribe to our YouTube channel to not miss out on new episodes. As always, the future's in the palm of your hand. And happy monstering.